So I'm going to do something a little different this weekend. I'm going to wing it, which is something I don't normally do. I'm a little bit of a planner and a bit of a worrier. So if I know I'm going to go away for a couple of nights or even one night, I'll usually check out the campsite online. I like to book online so I know that there's a place there for me, and I like to read all the reviews, do a Google map search and basically check everything. And it's worked very well in the past. I've found some cracking camping sites doing just that, and the one I stayed in last week was no exception, and I will return again and again to sites that I know suit me. But I've had a few campsites that I've turned up that haven't gone as well. And of course, once you've turned up and you've booked online and paid, if you turn up at the site and you don't get a good feeling there, it's too late. You've paid and you're committed. So I've seen a lot of people use Park4Night app, and I downloaded it ages ago and I haven't been brave enough to use it. And I suppose I'm afraid of a few things really. Travelling on my own, I'm nervous about going somewhere that I don't know. I'm nervous of safety and getting told off. The two fears I have. Safety being number one, obviously. And another reason to try this app is to save money. I sound really tight saying that. But the fact is I am on a strict budget, and I want to still enjoy camping. And the campsites, even if you're on your own, they're usually £25 plus for one night. It's actually more economical usually to go two people, because £25 for two people is really good. But I've found personally that most sites now that I go to anyway seem to be per pitch. So it can mount up if you're away, obviously, for a couple of weeks. And I also like the idea of being a bit more nomadic, and I want to stretch myself. I want to take myself out of my comfort zone, because I want to start exploring the UK more, not just going away for the odd night or two. I want to do longer term trips. And long term, I want to drive to Europe. So I'm going to have to start being a little bit more open, I guess, to trying winging it. So yeah, that's why I'm doing the Park4Night. Now, I've been a little clever this weekend, because whilst I am staying on places that this Park4Night app mentions, I'm in a part of Wales that I know is very amenable to camper vans. So I'm kind of putting my toe in the water very gently, really. I know there'll be other parts of the UK that maybe will be a little bit different. Yeah, I'm going to give it a go. Let's see what happens. Hey guys, it is Thursday evening in mid Wales, and it's really quiet. I honestly thought there'd be lots more people here. So I'll show you around my little space for the night. Lovely little church. So that's the view. Sun just going down. It's 8:15. So I've come into my van now. It's my first time on my own, not on a campsite. So I was quite nervous coming here. the car park was so empty when I got here. I felt quite self-conscious. I have to start getting used to this. But there's been a few other motorhomes have turned up now, so I've got company. So I've put my blinds up for a bit of privacy. I'll put the one on the back window just before I go to bed. And I went to the co-op on my way here. I'm not cooking tonight. Got myself a pack of sandwiches. So I've woken up in my little car park. Do you know what? I was expecting maybe boy races or other activities in this car park, and I was pleasantly surprised how peaceful it was. Almost as peaceful as the campsite I was at last week in the middle of nowhere. There were two other motorhomes that pulled up beside me, and pretty much as they arrived, everything got locked up and didn't hear anything from them. I woke up a few times in the night, but nothing, no sounds whatsoever. So I set my alarm for 7 o'clock this morning because you're free to park here in all of Powys, actually, in the long stay car parks. It's an amazing county, if it's a county. You can park in the long stay motorhomes as well for free between the hours of 6 p.m. and 8 a.m. So a lot of people take advantage of that. And there's usually a public toilet in the car park around the area as well. So this was completely free last night. So clearly there's no facility. There is a toilet, but I didn't need any last night anyway. So I've woken up, I've made my coffee and just sort of packed up because it's almost 8 o'clock, so I shall have to be on my way shortly. But if anyone is considering a halfway house between wild camping and campsites, I would say Powys is one of the most campervan, motorhome friendly places I have found as yet. So yeah, just before 9 o'clock, there's me and there's one other car here. Now, I'm assuming this is because of coronavirus, because I've come to Brecon many times in the week and weekends, and I have never seen it as quiet. And this place, there's a little boat hire place there and a cafe, none of it open. There's a sign that there are toilets here, they're not open either, but that doesn't worry me. But look at this, I'm right beside the river. There's a footpath, so I imagine it's going to get busy with walkers later. There's a few dog walkers already walked past. But I'm right beside the River Usk. There's a footpath here that takes you into Brecon. So all in all, I'm pretty happy with this spot. Well, I've just walked into Brecon. It's a lovely town, it's a lovely old market town. Lots of quaint outdoorsy shops really, and a lovely indoor market. But as soon as these days, go into towns, I can feel my tension building. And I think everybody else is feeling it as well, because everybody's looking tense. And there's a little cafe at the side of the river up here. And there's a long queue and everybody just looks confused, and so I had a little walk around. I didn't go in any shops. I would have loved to have gone in the market, but I didn't. So I'm going to head back to the van where I know it's safe and quiet. I'm walking back along the promenade beside the river. It's nice and quiet and I feel calm returning. I'm gonna have to be careful I don't turn into a recluse. So that was good. I've been out for a little walk, moved my legs around, and it's very warm and very pleasant out actually. So I walked down towards Brecon and then came back to the car park I'm in now and then carried on the path the other side of the park, and there is a huge playing field there, loads of space. People are out socially distancing by the looks of it, having picnics and kids playing. It was really, really pleasant. And the other thing is there's another car park just in those fields, a few motorhomes in there. And I had a look at the board. It's exactly the same as the board here. So it's £4 to stay all day, and overnight is free, and you're allowed one night in 7. I think that's pretty much the way it is across Powys. But the other car park has got this lovely toilet block. You've got to pay 20p to get in, but it's really clean inside. There's several toilets in there. There's one of those washers that you stick your hands in, soap comes out, washes them, dries. It's lovely, and it looks like it's organised or run or maintained by the Gurkhas, because there's a sign in there for the Gurkha resource team. So that's amazing. I've not seen that before. So it's only a short walk from this car park, but there is, as I say, a couple of motorhomes directly outside. So that's one to note for future reference as well. This car park, which was empty when I arrived this morning, is now full. There's loads of cars here. Walkers mainly, people going over to the play area there. So I've come back for a bit of peace and quiet. I'm going to read my book for a bit, I think. I'm not sure what to cook for dinner tonight. It'll be something that doesn't require much washing up because there's no water here. I've got water, obviously. It's more to do with getting rid of the grey waste. So it'll be something that doesn't take up much water at all. Possibly some noodles. Yeah, so that's an update on today. Good morning. I am now in a different town in Powys called Crickhowell. I woke up beside the river this morning in Brecon. Lovely quiet night again. Quite a few motorhomes turned up, but a few people got their picnic tables and chairs out and sat along the river. So it was almost as lovely as being, well, if not lovelier than being on a campsite last night. It was really nice and I felt perfectly safe there. So this morning I got up, again left by 8 o'clock this morning and winged it, wung it. Got my Park4Night app out and decided that I would head towards Talabont on Esk, which is a beautiful little town beside the canal, only a couple of miles outside Brecon. So I went to Talabont, as lovely as ever, but the place that was listed had a sign up saying no overnight camping, so I'm not that brave. So I didn't stay that one. So I've come a few miles down the road again now to another town just on the edge of Powys called Crickhowell, and me and Richard have been here a few times to a campsite here, which is really nice. But this is the first time I obviously have parked in the car park. So I will show you around. I'm going to go for a little walk around the town and up to the castle, and I shall bring you along with me so you can have a little look too. Heading up towards the castle from town. Town seems quite busy today, so I'm heading to the peace and quiet typically. So this is the castle. So I'm right beside Crickhowell Castle. Might be some showers, so I've got my rain jacket on, but it is really warm and it is a lovely place, Crickhowell. Recommend, if you've never been here, give it a visit. It's just on the edge of the Brecon beacons, lots of history, great walking, biking countryside. And there's a lovely river here with an old bridge which I shall head to next. So sad to see this pub all boarded up. We came here either last summer or the summer before, me and Richard, and sat. There's got a beer garden right beside the river. So I'm not sure if that's anything to do with coronavirus or whether its number was up anyway. Lovely historic old building, such a shame. I've just looked at the signs on the doors and it's closed for refurb. That's okay then. And just the other side of the pub, the views from the van are really lovely. It was sunny when I got here this morning, but the rain, you can see the rain approaching because those mountains vanish from sight when the rain is on its way. So it is a bit of a slope, so I shall probably sleep the other side of the bed tonight. Back in the van with a cup of tea. Lovely. Got the back doors open as well because I've parked up against a hedge and there's lovely little birds feeding on these lovely rowan berries. I think they're rowan berries. And two of my favourite sounds I've heard so far. One is cockerel. I don't mind cockerels waking me up. I love the sound. And the other is church bells on the hour. So yeah, I think it's going to be a different pitch, different sort of pitch to last night. But I think it'll suit me, unless things change later on. The car park's pretty busy now because it's Saturday and lots of shoppers and walkers and everything else are here. I had a little walk through the tourist information, and there are some lovely toilets there, really clean, free to use, so yeah, that's good to know. I imagine they'll close quite early. And as I walked around, I saw this old pub that Richard and I sat in the beer garden last year, and it was so sad to see it boarded up. And initially I thought, oh no, it's one of the casualties of the coronavirus. But I saw a sign on the door saying it was closed for refurb, and lots of thanks for all the support the community have given it. And then I remembered, of course, this town was really badly flooded earlier this year, just before the virus. So that's obviously what happened, and that pub was very, very badly flooded. So I'm just really pleased that it's going to be fixed and put right, because it's such a historic, lovely pub in such a lovely location. And that made me a bit sad then. I was walking around town remembering how badly affected some towns were with the floods this year, then coronavirus. So yeah, I guess coming to these places, using the free overnighters is great, but we've got to spend money in these towns as well, and put a bit back. And the other thing I've noticed, not so much here actually, this car park's really clean and tidy, but some of the car parks I've seen, people have obviously camped overnight and left rubbish and toilet paper, I'm afraid to report, which makes me very, very sad. And unfortunately, the people who do that, they make it really, really tough for the rest of us. And I can just see in the future places, unless things change and people do look after the areas, a lot of towns aren't going to want camper vans, which would be very, very sad. Well, I arrived here today and it was dry, but we've had some heavy showers. But we've got a lovely sunset. Feels biblical. Really amazing. Well, it's almost bedtime. I'm having my cup of tea, watching this lovely sky. Nice crisp moon up there. The car park's quiet at the moment. I hope it stays that way. Still wandering around looking at the sky. Can't believe how lovely it is. And I think over the last few evenings, well, on the campsite last week, I have come to the realisation that what makes a camping pitch for me is a view. Yeah, I love a view out the window, and especially feeling space. The campsite last week, I saw the sunrise and the sunset from the same vantage point. If it's sunny tomorrow morning, should see a good sunrise over there as well. But it's just a feeling of space. It's just wherever I stand in this car park, there are just amazing views. Again, 360 degrees. And that's really special, I think. So I think this place goes down as my favourite of the last 3 nights. Lovely town, everything that you could need on your doorstep. There's Chinese takeaway, fish and chips, lovely delis, bars. Not that I went in any of the bars, but the town's dead tonight. There's nobody around, but it was quite busy earlier on today. So that's it from me for this evening. I'm off home again tomorrow. Won't take long to get there. But I've had a really nice couple of days, and my experience of using Park4Night has been really good so far. Possibly a lot to do with the area I'm in. As I've explained before, they're very good for camp van facilities, really. But I'm going to use the app to go further. There's so many places, even in Powys, that I still want to go to. So that's where I'm going to start. It makes sense. I love the area anyway. So yeah, gonna go longer and go further. And well, then the rest of the UK is my oyster. Hope you've enjoyed this episode. And I'll see you next week. Bye.